away we go here for Xbox Division 3.
Still wheel to wheel coming out of turn 19.
Tries to go down the inside of Desio. Desio giving him space, but not by much.
Oh, and he's oversteered, and he spun. They're side by side, off the track, neck and neck.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Xbox Division 2 here at COTA. We have 3 rounds remaining and we got a very wet qualifying session. I've been told that the rain will continue throughout the duration of qualifying, so luckily we are going to be looking at a dry race, only a wet qualifying, so see how our drivers can do here and see how this shakes up the championship battle here tonight. Currently on board here with Leighton, setting our very first hot lap of the evening. Oh, and it looks like he is invalidated, so that is no more for him. See who we can pick up here. Looks like Indian Cyclone now making his way through the S's here. On his way up to turn number 11 here at COTA. Most likely we're not see any variation of any different tires here during qualifying. I can hardly suggest that we'll see anyone on the slicks, as I've been told the track is not looking to dry out whatsoever here in qualifying, but who knows what we may see at the very last couple minutes come this session. Any Cyclone now made his way. That is around a corner number 12, and now up to this double right-hander of 13 and 14. He's got George 1997 right in front of him as well on a hot lap. Takes up with George here as well. See how he's doing. Hopefully he doesn't slow down Cyclone at all, but these guys are very close to each other. Doesn't look like George is affecting Cyclone's lap at all here. We have HB going, setting the first time of the evening with 47.3. George losing a lot of the back end right there. See what time he crossed the line with, going very wide. He's going to set a 149.4, and then Indian Cyclone right behind him, a 47.5. Gotta think being behind George right there may have slowed him down just a little bit. Looks like the rain still coming down steadily here. We're now 5 minutes into qualifying, have 5 cars currently setting their laps. We'll go on board here with Deluxe Cord. Cleared across the line with, that's going to be provisionally a pole position. That's a 46.5 there for the Haas driver. Very nicely done from Deluxe Cord, who we missed very dearly last week in Mexico. Looks like Wilder Square has validated his lap, and he will now just be pulling it into the pits. Got the racing point of Mad Marlin here, fighting his way through Sector 3. Making up the final 2 corners here before he crosses the line. See where he can place himself currently. And that's going to be P3 there for Marlin with a 147.3. Barely getting edged out there from HB in second. So we got a Haas 1-2 at the moment. See how long that lasts here in qualifying. Now taking on board with the Mercedes of Tazonic as he looks across the line here. Taz going to go P5. That's a 47.6. He's 10th and a half off from 4th place Indian Cyclone. So not a bad first lap there for Tazonic. It's like LER Redeemer has invalidated his. We'll take it up to the other Mercedes in. it's going to be 2 for 2 white meat here. Doesn't look like too many of our guys are struggling right now through the wet conditions. And I gotta say, I love 2 for 2 white meat's helmet right here. That is a beautiful contrast there with the silver color of the Mercedes helmet, matching very nicely there. And white meat's gonna just go half a second slower than his teammate Tazonic there. Mercedes running out 5th and 6th at the moment. We now have a current set of 11 times here in qualifying. So got a little under half the grid left to go and set their first times in the session, as we have 10 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here for Xbox Division 2. Looks like Leighton once again has invalidated another lap. Really struggling right now. As we have TRC Platinum really getting very close there to what I believe is the McLaren of Indian Cyclone. Indian Cyclone may be going again. No, that was actually his teammate of Father Corn on his outlap. So Father Corn really trying to get a speedy lap going. And as I say that, when we take it on board with him to look at it, he is cutting and mowing all the grass here off a turn, what I believe is 14. Here at Coda has now makes his way around the double left-hander 15 and 16. So we'll now stick this back up here with TRC Platinum, see if we can get a entire lap on board with one car as he now makes his way through Sector 3. Really revving up those, really getting up the revs right there. Being very cautious on the throttle at the moment. It looks like Indian Cyclone has currently set a 46.9 for the McLaren, so he's split the pair of Haas drivers. So HB now sees himself in 3rd. Here we go on board with TRC Platinum. Nearly halfway through qualifying, he makes his run up to turn 1. Going to want to take as much curb as he can right here, and doesn't really clip any of it. And now makes his way through turn 2, and then the S's of 3, 4, 5, 6, and beyond. Oh, and we have a McLaren off circuit. Ronan is sitting right there off the edge of turn 3. Unsure what went wrong with those guys there. But we will stay on board here with Platinum's got purple through Sector 1. And now makes his way up to turns 9 and 10, and now all the way down to 11. Which can at times be a very tricky 9-degree turn to get completely right. Clips the curve there. He's got Father Corn on his left, going to slow down for him. And no DRS at the moment, since we are under wet conditions. Platinum makes his run up to turn 12. Braking right at the 100-meter board, really clipping the curve right there. Very nicely done by Platinum. And now we have the double right-hander of turns 13 and 14. And Platinum's gone purple once again through Sector 2. Looking like he might be able to best out Deluxe Sport here. Oh, but he loses the back end. Still keeps it, though. See how much time that cost him here on his lap. Gotta imagine it's going to be a few tenths, 2 to 3, quite possibly. See if he can keep the rest of his lap together here. Looks like he can. He's got one final turn before he crosses the line. Oh, and he really loses it right there too. Sector 3 not his best, and you can really see how that affected his entire lap. He was purple through 1 and 2, but unfortunately, after some mistakes there in Sector 3, he's only set a 147.3. They'll definitely be looking to improve. As we see Deluxe Sport here setting his next lap. He's currently sitting 4 tenths above Indian Cyclone. Cyclone has a 46.9. Deluxe scored that 46.5. So Deluxe really showing his pace here in the wet. We got the pair of Williams drivers really getting all tangled up there in the S's. That slowed down Deluxe Sport massively on his lap as the rain has now subsided. And with just 6.5 minutes left here in qualifying, I'm beginning to wonder if the track's going to dry up just enough in the final minutes for maybe someone to sneak out on some slicks and maybe still pole position away. We're just going to have to wait and see, but I'm expecting times to really start ramping up here now that the rain has subsided and the track is slowly going to begin to dry. Oh, and Deluxe Sport once again got another car in his way. That's TRC Platinum, but Platinum does get out the way. However, I believe Deluxe Sport may have had to brake a little bit later, or a little bit earlier, excuse me, in fear that TRC Platinum was not going to slow down for him. But nonetheless, Deluxe has gone purple through Sector 2. Really see guys struggling there out the exit of turn 16, but Deluxe Sport still flying here. That beautiful Danny Rick inspired helmet that he has. Got the McLaren of Father Corn right in front of him. Looks like Father Corn is diving in the pits right there, so it won't get in his way whatsoever. Deluxe really keeping that back end stable. He's going to cross the line now with a 46.1, so he still improves by nearly 4/10 on that lap. Very nicely done by him. We'll take it up here to Leighton. Yet to set a time. About to cross the line with a string of other drivers right in front of him. Leighton now going P2 there, the 46.2. So you can really see this track starting to dry up, and with Leighton's pace as well. Setting himself up very nicely. Yeah, Indian Cyclone currently in third, and then Mad Marlin here in fourth in the other Racing Point. Oh, and unfortunately, as we go on board there with White Meat, he just completely cut the S's. We see a lot of the guys on their end laps do as well. Looks like we have Big Mr. Brown about to set a lap. Just 4.5 minutes left here in qualifying. Unsure if we're going to see any guys try to go out on any slick tires. The track still seems pretty wet at the moment. Don't think we're going to see any guys out or really try to attempt to go into slicks. And as I say that, looks like Indian Cyclone's changing for the soft there in the garage. See if he plans to take action with that. Oh, as we see Big Mr. Brown getting all out of sorts here and already ruining his lap as he comes to the S. It's unfortunate for him. Got a lot of drivers out on track right now, a lot who have already set time, so looks like LER Redeemer is going pretty slow on his lap. We'll take this up here, back up to Big Mr. Brown. However, Big Mr. Brown is 2/10 above his previous best, so he is really struggling right now in the wet conditions. Currently sitting in 10th place, but see if he'll be able to keep that. We still got Wide Square, Father Corn, Hulk Smash, TRC Ronin, and Stoneman all unable to set a lap here at the moment. TRC Ronin, who's fighting hard for a championship right now, not looking the best. They'll take us on board here with Father Corn. Oh, unfortunately, Jordan the Fraud has gotten disqualified. So we're going to see him drop all the way back there to 19th place. As it was said he was going the wrong way. That is very unfortunate there for the Williams drivers. Jordan's qualifying just went from bad to worse at the moment. We now have just 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. And it doesn't look like any guys are really going to try to tempt their luck there on some soft. So rest of our times will be set on the intermediate tires, and for good reason. The track is still wet at the moment, has not dried up completely, and Father Corn is making a mess out of turn 10 as he's unable to stick it there, and it's really going to hurt his chances of setting a decent lap time. He's yet to set one at all here in qualifying, and this is his very last chance. Might be able to get another go, however. He can't get about 2 laps in on these intermediate tires. Usually the second lap is the better lap, so still hope there for the McLaren driver of Father Corn. The coach has retired from the session, did not leave the pits in time, and he has called it a day. Currently sitting with the slowest lap on the grid with a 49.5 there in 13th place at the moment. Father Corn really pressing here at the final few turns, but not too sure he's going to get a spot he wants. Looks like instead of 48 here, high 48. Nope, that's a low 49, so only 12th position there for Father Corn, unfortunately. So now taking on board here with Tazonic. He has not improved on his lap time through Sector 3. Let's see if he still moves up here. No, he will not. He was 2/10 short of improving. And unfortunately for George, that's going to be the end of his qualifying. Oh, and he's going to go into the barrier. That's not good there. See Father Corn now picking up a 5-place group penalty for contact with Deluxe. So the end of qualifying here getting very messy. We now look here at Indian Cyclone, who has not improved either on his time. Really see how much this track's dried up. Now that qualifying is over, Cyclone's bringing it into the pits. Look here at TRC Platinum, trying to get himself up there in the first couple rows of the grid. Not sure if he's going to be able to. As he crosses the line and only goes P5, that will not be good enough. Taking on board here with Ronan. Ronan really getting squirmy there at the final turn. And he's going to go P9 here in qualifying. Big Mr. Brown making his laps around, but he's not going to improve whatsoever. So now look at Deluxe Court here, who all for nothing knows he has pole, so that's it for Deluxe as well. However, Mad Marlin making a charge in the back, but looks like he's now going to abandon his lap as well. So Marlin out of contention, and I believe that is going to be the end of qualifying for us here. Still got Tazonic, however, but Taz as well going very slow. We'll check on Father Corn, who is now diving into the pits. So that will be the end of qualifying here. Because we had a total of 4 guys, or I should say, I'm sorry, 3 guys unable to set a lap. That's wide square, and the paired Ferraris of Hulk Smash and Stoneman. Jordan the Fraud did set a time. He was I believe P13 before he got disqualified from the session, but he's going to have to start all the way in the back. So our front row is going to look like Deluxe Cord Layton there for 1-2, and third is going to be Indian Cyclone and Mad Marlin. Shortly followed up by TRC Platinum, HB, White Mike, and Tazonic there for 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then TRC Ronin and White Meat rounding out the top 10 there for 9th and 10th. Then have Big Mr. Brown in 11th, followed by LDR Redeemer, Father Corn, and George there for 12th, 13th, and 14th. And with our very last set time of the day was the coach there in 15th position. And there we have it once again. Unfortunately, Father Corn with that 5-place grid penalty is going to see himself all the way back to 18th and the second to last row of the grid. It's very unfortunate there for him. But what a great lap there from Deluxe Cord. Layton unable to best it, and you can really see how those two fared in the wet compared to the rest of the grid. Indian Cyclone an even 8/10 off from the front 2 drivers. Mad Marlin nearly second, as well as TRC Platinum. And you see the rest of the grid there all over a second back from the top 2 drivers, but that doesn't really compare to what we're going to see here in the dry race conditions. It's really anyone's game at the moment. See how tire strategy comes into play here for all of our drivers. We're going to take a brief 30-second break before I slur all my words, while everyone gets their tires set, fuel, all the good stuff. And we'll be right back with you guys. I am PPR Nick here for PPR Esports. Make sure you check us out here on YouTube. Give us a nice little like and subscribe if you are new. And we are back for the start of the formation lap here. We can go over our very tight championship battle at the moment. We have Indian Cyclone leading it all out with 211 points, shortly followed by the tie in second place was between TRC Platinum and Money Hustard with 200 points. And then shortly behind them, 2 points to spare, is Ronin with 198. Marlon Kaga still within the fight with 162. However, after the night, he could find himself eliminated from championship contentions. He is definitely a long shot here, but still within reach nonetheless. However, any Cyclone, TRC Platinum, Money Hustard, and Ronin, all the drivers to watch for. However, Money Hustard not here tonight, is really going to lose out on his chances. So any Cyclone, Platinum, and Ronin have it all out to lose tonight here at Circuit of the Americas. It's going to be a completely dry race. And for any of you currently viewing us here on Twitch, we are live on YouTube at PPR Esports. Make sure to check us out there so you can chat up with some of our drivers, some of our fans, and catch out some great after-action racing stuff as well post-race, as well as our Xbox Division 1 race, which will be live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Something that hopefully I will partake in this week, but we got some great drivers in that division as well, and some fantastic racing each and every week. We now just have 3 races remaining in our F1 2019 season before we kick off F1 2020 in the near future. I'm very excited to see how these next 3 races go for our drivers and for our championship battle. Hope we have some great racing, some great action for all of you guys here tonight, and I'm so glad to be sharing this race with you, and hopefully you can hear some great commentary and I won't botch anything here tonight. But here we go. Grid is lined up. See, look at the tires as well. We just wait for the 5 red lights. As we have 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here for Xbox Division 2 here at Circuit of the Americas. You got 3 wide between both the race points. Got a Red Bull just throwing it up the inside, making contact with his teammate. There goes the Toro Rosso of White Mike as well off the edge. Other than that, looks like everyone's gotten cleanly off through turn 1. Now see all of our drivers make their way through the S's. Oh, got an Alfa Romeo going off very slowly. That looks like it's the coach. May have cut the corner there. Back up to the rest of our grid as well. Everyone seems to be faring fairly well. So we now make our way up turn 10, and then the run up to turn number 1, or turn number 11. That would be a double one. Got the Red Bull of LDR Redeemer throwing up the inside here of TRC Platinum. LDR Redeemer has just been going for dive bomb after a dive bomb right now. Not sure how that's going to fare with the rest of our grid. He's going side by side here with Platinum. Can Platinum get him back through turn 12? Looks like he can. LDR Redeemer, though, still sticking by his side. We now pull it up here to turn 13. Redeemer getting very close, cutting the corner right there. LDR Redeemer's going to have the inside line here, or excuse me, TRC Platinum's going to have the inside line, and LDR Redeemer's going to lose out there. So that's Platinum now in the Alpha, up into 6th place. Looks like Redeemer's now getting attacked here by Tazonic and the Mercedes. Redeemer holds him off for now as they make it up to the final turn on circuit. Lux scored setting the current fastest lap for lap 1. Redeemer getting a little bit squirrely there and into the grass. Tazonic's going to make a run up here on him for P7. And Redeemer's just going to outbrake him through turn 1. Try to get on the outside. Can't get a good broadcast camera. See if we can now. Yes, we can. We see all the drivers making the way through. LDR Redeemer now on the outside. Going to make it through the SSO. Tazonic's got off. Tazonic's got off and he's into the wall. That is unfortunate there from the Mercedes driver. Doesn't look like it's going to cause any other collisions on circuit. No, it's not. So we're going to take it back up here to the now sole Mercedes versus double pairing Red Bull battle as 2-2 White Meat's right behind TRC Ronin. Farther corner now diving up the inside of 2-2 White Meat out of turn 11. Doesn't look like he make it stick. White Meat's got the better exit. We're now going to have a drag race up to turn 12. It's all about who has more front wing now at the moment. Nothing separating them. White Meat has to hold on the outside there. He breaks later than Father Corn. He's going to beat him out. As we got now Stone Man making his way around Joy the Fraud. We've had so much action here in the very first 2 laps. It's been very hard to keep up, but 2 Williams drivers now battling out there in 12th and 13th. Front of the grid's been pretty quiet at the moment. Take it up here to Layton, who's now right behind Deluxe Score. It should be said that Layton is sitting here on the mediums, the only medium runner in the top 5. Wonder how that's going to fare here for him. DRS should be enabled now here on lap 3. So that DRS zone's going to be open there from turn 11 to turn 12. That very fast back straight. Is looking very nice for Racing Point at the moment as they got 2nd and 3rd locked out. Shortly followed up behind them is Indian Cyclone there and the McLaren in P4. And there's our first time penalty from TRC Ronin. Is a 3-second time penalty. Layton now really looking to set up his move on Deluxe. Tries to throw it down the inside. Can't really make a stick. Probably should have waited just a little bit more. He's going to have DRS. Might be able to still make a run here up to turn 12. See what Deluxe does. Deluxe is going to sit there on the middle of the track, force Layton to the inside most, and work his way back up the outside. It looks like that's going to fare better for Layton. Oh, and may have gave. Oh, as we have HB off. What has gone wrong with HB? And that's going to be a VSC. Looks like Layton had the front wing locked in there for him. See if we can pick up HB now. Oh, and he is just turned backwards out of turn 12. Wonder if we're going to see a steward's report after that one. TRC Platinum not having the greatest start of the race here. He's gotten a drive-through for speeding under safety car. And that's really going to hurt his championship hopes now as he's trailing Indian Cyclone by 11 points. And he was just right back in 5th. But we'll see him fall fairly far now after serving a drive-through. Him and White Meat now both making it into the pits. This VSC should end fairly shortly. And we'll still be having a fantastic battle for the race lead. And there we go. Deluxe Squad getting a great run after the end of the VSC, and he's now all on the tail of Layton. Those soft tires still working wonders there for the Haas driver, but oh, and then there goes White Mike. White Mike's been disqualified for facing the wrong way. We saw a similar occurrence happen in qualifying as well, and unfortunately for White Mike, that is his day done. So we now have two members gone, one DNF, one DSQ here. That's HB and White Mike respectively. Layton now throwing it down the inside, trying to hold that line. Deluxe try to work it on the outside of Layton. They're going to go side by side, making the run up to turn 13. And Deluxe Sport still has it. But Layton's going to have the inside line now on Deluxe. Matt Marlin's got a beautiful view of this battle as he watches his teammate of the night face off against Deluxe Sport. Oh, and Layton's getting really close here to the gearbox of Deluxe Sport. That could have been horrendous for both drivers, but Layton backs off just a tad, not to make any contact. He's now got DRS enabled and making the run up here to turn 1. Deluxe Sport doesn't defend, and Layton doesn't try to make a move. He's still going to stay here behind Deluxe through the S's. Got Mad Marlin, Indian Cyclone right behind them as well in 3rd and 4th. And then TRC Ronin fairly far back now. Him and his teammate in the Red Bull sitting 5th and 6th there. Layton getting a great run now here on Deluxe. He might be able to make a move out 11, but thinks better of it. Knows that if he did so, Deluxe would have had DRS. Oh, and he makes contact with Deluxe. And now they're going to go side by side. You see him make the run up. Oh, and out of nowhere comes Mad Marlin. What's gone wrong here with Deluxe? He's slowed up. I'm unsure what Deluxe Sport was doing, but that's now brought Mad Marlin up into 2nd place, and Marlin might be able to fight out with his teammate in 1st. Don't know if we're going to have any sort of team orders here, as Layton is not normally Marlin's teammate. Layton is a reserve driver here tonight, subbing in for the very wonderful and illustrious Money Hustard. See Deluxe now making a move down the inside of Mad Marlin. Can he make a stick? Looks like Marlin's trying to get him back. Both gonna have the benefit of DRS. And it's just gonna be a drag race up turn 1. Marlin's gonna have the better line. It's just all about who breaks later. And that's gonna be Marlin. Oh, but Marlin breaks way too late and off into the sunset. Looks like he might have made some contact there with Cyclone. However, Cyclone could have just lost the back end there out the exit of turn 1. So Deluxe is now back into 2nd place. And once again, trailing Layton there in 1st. So a little look at the championship battle. We have a little bit of break in the action. TRC Platinum has fallen all the way down to 15th place at the moment after serving his drive-through penalty. However, he does have on fresh, soft tires. See how that fares for him here, and maybe if he can salvage some points in the race. Still a long race left to go and all to fight for at the moment. However, Indian Cyclone is looking like he might gain even more here on his championship lead, as after the night we will just have Brazil and Abu Dhabi left in the season, with a great helicopter shot, I must say, here of that beautiful Papaya McLaren. We take it back on board here with Indian Cyclone. He's going to have the power of DRS here. See if he can make a run up to turn 1 on Mad Marlin. Doesn't look like he has enough room here, so he's going to have to wait to make his move. Have to sort it out through the S's. Cyclone really starting to reel in Marlin here. Gets a much better exit there out of turn 9. see Platinum now set the fastest lap of the race at a 36.0. He is really trying to make a charge back up the field, but he's 13 seconds back from even 14th place, so not looking good for him. But it is looking good for Indian Cyclone here, as he's got DRS enabled down the inside of Marlin, and Marlin is a sitting duck there. He can't do much to help himself out in that battle. He's now just going to have to stick to the back of Indian Cyclone and hope that he can reel him back in here and maybe use the benefit of DRS to help himself out. Oh, and Hulk Smash is retired, and that is a safety car. See if we can pick him up here from the Mercedes of Tazonic. Oh, and yep, there is Hulk Smash. Both our DNFs so far this evening have been very strange. See Hulk Smash there off of turn number 10, and then HB was off of turn 12, so not the normal spots you see people really DNF at least not where they're at on track, so maybe something more to that one. We got Indian Cyclone now coming in the pits. What tires is he going to put on? Putting on a fresh set of softs, so you have to pit once more. He's not going to go for the hard and try to go to the end. This two-stop might be the smarter choice for him. See how it plays out by the end of the race. We got a lot of drivers in the back as well. George, the fraud George, and then 252 White Meat and Father Corn also all coming into the pits. Very surprised we didn't see the other two soft runners here in the top 5 pit. Layden and Deluxe Cord, or Deluxe Cord and Mad Marlin not coming in the pits there to change out their softs. So they're going to stay out, and if they do pit now, they're really going to lose out on that advantage that they had over the rest of the grid. But it looks like we got a few hard runners now. It's going to be George the Fraud, George, Tazonic as well, all going for the hards. Tazonic, unfortunately, with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So he now finds himself all the way back in 16th place, but this has caused a momentary stop in the action in the grid after beginning to break up just a little bit. Is now all back and reformed. So currently in our three-way battle for the championship here on track tonight, TRC Ronin is beating out Indian Cyclone, and TRC Platinum is all the way back in 14th place. But Platinum, with the benefit of this safety car, is pitted once again for another pair of soft tires. Presumably his last set of fresh softs. So he's going to be able to make a charge up the field. It's just all going to be about how quick he is here on a track and how much better his pace can be than the rest of the field. Yeah, 252 White Meat once again coming in the pits. What has gone wrong with him? Oh, he's getting a front wing change. So I'm assuming either his last stop, his pit crew did not change that front wing, or he just picked that up under the safety car. Either way, this is really going to damage White Meat's race, and him and Tazonic are not doing a great job for the Mercedes here tonight. As you now see Tazonic pulling up to the back of his teammate as they sit 14th and 15th. The coach as well back into the pits. That may prolong our safety car. However, I say that, and the coach is already outside the pits, so we may see safety car in this lap if the rest of our grid can reform for the end of sector 2. It's usually how Cody's predicts their safety cars. However, knowing that it is Cody's, anything is possible in this game. The safety car could maybe even stay out for the rest of the duration of the race. Who knows? But at the moment, as we see it, top 3 is Layton here in first, followed by Deluxe Cord there in second. Got Mad Marlin up in third. TRC Ronin and LDR Redeemer looking very nicely here with the Red Bulls at the moment, sitting 4th and 5th. Then you got Stone Man, and Indian Cyclone 6th, 7th. Weiser, Big Miss Brown, and Enjoy the Fraud there. So on the top 10. We'll look at what the stops look like at the moment. Indian Cyclone currently sitting highest up on the already pit stop runners, and behind him Weiser, Big Miss Brown yet stop, but everyone outside from 10th to 16 have all made a stop here, as we see it first through 6 yet to bring it in. Fastest lap of the race currently held there from TRC Platinum with a 1:36.0. As we will see safety car out for one more lap here, unfortunately. Hoping we get back to racing as quick as possible. We'll have it out for one more lap, and then we will be back to what I'm really going to hope is going to be just some amazing racing. We've already seen some great side-by-sides and some great overtakes, and for the most part some very clean racing as well. So as always, I am thoroughly impressed with our Xbox Division 2 drivers. They know how to put on a show no matter what race circuit we are on. And while we wait for the safety car, it's going to take another brief 30-second break here in the booth, and we'll be right back with you guys. And looks like we do have safety car in this lap, and it'll be let out here by Leighton in first place before we get back to action. Unfortunately, as I'm being told by White Mike here, his dog changed his TV input, and that is why he got disqualified from the race. So sometimes our best friends can be our worst enemies when it comes to league racing. But here we go with Leighton. See when he decides to make the jump here. See if the Lux Cord can get it. Oh, and Leighton is gone. I think he might have caught the Lux Cord napping out just a little bit. And yes, he did. So back to racing we go. We're going to take it down here to Stoneman. Looks like Stoneman's going to make a move on Redeemer. Oh, but way too deep into turn one. Not sure what Stoneman was thinking there with his braking point. Might have just missed the braking board there. As any Cyclone now overtaking him, and you got Weiser Square as well now making a charge up. And you look behind them, Big Mr. Brown is followed up by the pair of Williams drivers. We're getting very close to one another. Mr. Brown's got to watch. All right, and we are back here for Xbox Division 2. Looks like we are... All right, and we are back on here for Xbox Division 2. Currently at the moment as it stands, we're back under a safety car. Layton in first, followed by Indian Cyclone and TRC Ronin there. And third, we've had multiple DNFs. Oh, Indian Cyclone's picked up a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. That is really going to hurt him here. It looks like we have had a slew of DNFs. Father Corn, George the Fraud, Tooth to Whitemeat, the coach, all retiring in the span of what I believe was just 4 laps that we were gone for. Unfortunately, we were unable to catch what happened there. Layton throwing it in the pits, TRC Ronin as well. Indian Cyclone also having to serve his penalty. So looking like at the moment it is going to be LDR Redeemer in first place here in the Red Bull. However, I believe he's going to pit this upcoming lap now that his teammate was able to box ahead of him. So unfortunate there for Redeemer. He might be caught out here from the rest of the grid, but Layton's coming back out behind him in second. You're going to have George 1997 on the hard, so he can go till the end. Not too sure how good of a bet this is for him. He's going to lose out massively to everyone else behind him. And now we see Mad Marlin, Stoneman as well, Indian Cyclone on those fresh mediums. Has to be noted that Layton opted for the soft, so he's going to go to the end here on them. He still has half the race distance, or excuse me, less than half the race distance to go. So he might be able to make it work. But currently our 3 that we're keeping track of tonight who are battling for the championship, that is Cyclone, Ronin, and TRC Platinum. Cyclone, who is currently leading the championship, is also leading out that battle on track tonight in 6th place, but he's going to have a very ferocious TRC Ronin right behind him on fresh softs, TRC Platinum on fresh mediums. So those guys may find each other out on track very soon after the end of this safety car. Go ahead and look at our Discord, see if we can pick up what exactly happened to bring out this safety car while it is still out here on track. And it doesn't look like I'm getting any word from our Discord, so we will just have to wonder about what was, as unfortunately we got kicked from the lobbies for whatever reason. Cody's does not like me. It has to be said though, LDR Redeemer did not pit on this lap, so he's staying out again. He still needs to pit. He's going to lose out to really the entirety of the grid here. I'm not too sure why he didn't come into the pits, as this is just going to completely ruin his race. He's going to see himself fall most likely to the very back of the grid now. So at the moment we're looking at P1 after Redeemer pits as Layton, and then P2 will be George, and so on and so forth, with Marlin all the way down to Tazonic. Once again, I want to thank everyone that bared with us here underneath our intermission as we dealt with our technical difficulties. But we are back, and we have just 12 laps remaining here at Circuit of the Americas. Hopefully the safety car will be in this lap. However, I have a feeling it's going to stay out for just one more. But after that, hopefully smooth sailing from here and some great racing action to go till the end. And there we have it. Safety car is heading in this lap. So LDR Redeemer is going to lead us out on his very, very old medium tires. With Leighton right behind him, ready and on the charge. And it looks like LDR Redeemer is off here, and Leighton is already getting the overtake done right at the first possible point to make it. Leighton does, and not much that Redeemer can do. Those tires are not going to hold up here against those fresh softs of Leighton. He's going to be off and into the distance, and behind them is George. 1997, we have a yellow flag. Looks like something's gone wrong here with Big Mr. Brown in Weiser Square. It doesn't look like that's anything here on screen, so those guys look to be doing just fine. Now take this on board here with Stoneman. He's having a little bit of a battle here with Matt Marlin. Oh, he's going to go up the inside of Marlin. They make a little bit of a touch, but Stoneman makes it through, and Marlin losing out there. Stoneman now up into 4th place. Marlin's going to have to be careful. He's got Indian Cyclone now right behind him. Stoneman looking to battle up here for a podium spot. Oh, he's going to squeeze himself around the outside of George. No way he was going to make that stick. That was very, very close to nearly being a collision. Steve tries to throw down the inside of George here. No, he doesn't. He's going to keep it right behind him as he now picks up a 3-second time penalty. But he is closing in very fast now to that Williams driver. And it can only be a matter of time before he picks up that 3rd place. As Leighton's now set the fast lap of the race with a 34.6 there. DRS is not yet enabled, so Stoneman will not have it. He's got to do it all here on track and by himself. Oh! George braking what I thought was very early. Not at all. Stoneman once again out brakes himself through turn 1. And that's leading now Mad Marlin in on the charge. Indian Cyclone is coming into the pits. Not too sure why that is, but he's coming out very far behind the rest of the pack here. He may have been serving some sort of drive-through. We now look up here. Stoneman throwing down the inside of George. Makes it go, and George gets hit by Marlin, and George is off the track. Marlin may have picked up some wing damage right there, and George sees his race go from bad to worse. He's now outside the points there in 11th position. TRC Platinum now battling with his fellow TRC brother, that is TRC Ronin, but TRC Platinum wasn't looking for Deluxe Score to come on his inside, and he has Deluxe Score now making the charge of the field. Oh, and look who it is. It's Weiser Square now down the inside of currently the 2nd place runner of the championship, TRC Platinum. And he's seeing those championship aspirations run very wide. Oh, and TRC Ronin has now made contact with the Deluxe Squad in the wall, and his wing is gone. That's now promoted TRC Platinum up into 7th. LDR Redeemer now coming into the pit, so it's going to be a double stack at Red Bull most likely. And just in a matter of a few corners, everything has gone crazy here on circuit. As Leighton has really brought out his gap in first place dramatically. And we see Stoneman most likely looking to pick up his first podium of the year. And Deluxe Scored chasing for yet another podium here in Xbox Division 2. But he's got to catch up to Mad Marlin there in 3rd place. As I know, somewhere in the world, wherever TRC Ronin is at the moment, he is very furious on his sim rig because he had it all going for him tonight. He was really going to bridge that gap to the championship leader of Indian Cyclone, and in a matter of seconds, he lost it all out there to Deluxe Scored after they made contact. Unsure whose fault that was, but I am definitely sure we're going to see it somewhere in our incident reports later tonight. But nonetheless, we're on board here with the Luxord as he's looking to fight off Mad Marlin. Marlin currently holding that illustrious third position, the final podium spot. Oh, and Marlin breaking a lot later than Deluxord here. Deluxord nearly getting caught out by it. He's going to have DRS here up to the run into turn one. Mad Marlin just getting a little bit better of an exit there, but nonetheless, this DRS is really helping out Deluxe. He's going to make the dive down the inside. Marlin's going to try to get him back. Oh, and he makes a little bit of a touch there on the side pod and can't make it stick on the switchback. So that's going to be Deluxord now up in the third place. You got to be careful as well. Wiser Square has already showed us that he can make some moves here on circuit. And he's back there in fifth and closing in ever so closely to Deluxord and Mad Marlin. Marlin trying to do as much as he can now to catch up to Deluxe, but doesn't look like it's going to pay off here. However, he will have DRS, and with that, he might be able to scrape off just a few tenths from this gap that Deluxord has now built through Sector 1. Not going to have a move here through turn 12 at all, but he's now under 4/10 of a second. As Deluxord looking like he might gain on Stoneman as well. Those softs are going to start to fall off here towards the final few laps of the race, and Deluxord might be able to make his charge there for second place. Has to be said, TRC Platinum, who's currently 11 points back in the championship, if my memory serves me correct, is looking very well here against his currently championship rival, that is Indian Cyclone, is sitting in ninth. So TRC Platinum, if he can pick up a few more spots here, could definitely find himself in first place. That's why the square is chasing Marlin through the S's. Marlin looks like he's starting to struggle here as he picks up a 3-second time penalty, and why the square is just not really finding any room to get past him. It's not really an overtaking place at all through the S's. He's gonna have to wait till this DRS straight, and even at that, he's 4/10 back, so he's really gonna have to get a good exit out of here. And it doesn't look like he did. He's even further back to Marlin now. And Wilder Square might be starting to worry about TRC Platinum right behind him, as you see all these guys make the run up to turn 12. 21 laps into this 28-lap race. Got a fantastic battle here for fourth place on circuit. Layton's really broken out that gap. Now he's got 8 seconds on Stoneman there in second place. Deluxord is now cutting the 2-second gap that Stoneman had in half to now just 1 second, and ever so fastly decreasing. Oh, and Marlin is hopping into the pits. He's calling it a day. He's going to put on new tires. So that now promotes Wiser Square up in the fourth. TRC Platinum now is in the fifth. Is Indian Cyclone going to be able to pick up another position here? Looks like he is. Definitely is. Cyclone's just gotten his tires put on. Oh, and he's stuck. Might be a glitch here in the game. Oh, now he's off. Wonder what went wrong there with Marlin, but back up to the action here. Gonna take a look here at Deluxord. Now eyeing his sights on Stoneman for second place. He's gonna have DRS here. He's within that 1 second gap. Deluxord might be able to make the move here. He sticks his nose in on the inside. Doesn't look like Stoneman has anything to offer in terms of a defense. And that's now Deluxord up into second place. And Stoneman now into third. Still got the podium secured if he can hold off an attack from Wiser Square, who's currently sitting 3 seconds back and is dealing with his own problems, and that's TRC Platinum. Doesn't look like Platinum's done quite yet. Still has a chance for a podium with 5 laps remaining. And these guys in front of him on the softs are really going to start to feel that tire wear, while the mediums can last a bit longer. But first, Platinum has to get around Wiser Square to make that happen. As we see him make the run up through the S's. Doesn't look like Platinum's really gaining too much here on Wiser, as he touched a little bit of the grass right there. Also has to be said, unsure what our penalties are looking like tonight. That could play a major part here in the race, because even drivers like Layton, who's sitting pretty comfortably out there in first, he's also picked up at least 1 or 2 penalties on the night. Could be more, so it's all to play for here, even after we see all of our drivers cross the line. Once again, we'd love to see it all done on track, but we know how time penalties are in Cody's, because look at that. There's George picking up his own 3-second time penalty. He's currently sitting 11th, though, so not going to hurt him too much. The guy who is hurting is TRC Ronan, who's behind him in 12th. Got to feel bad for Ronan. He was on such a great charge tonight. He's always done a great job in the races of picking up positions, and tonight just doesn't look like it's going his way. Luckily, he still has 2 races remaining, though, this season, or it'll all be left for grabs. As still on board here with TRC Platinum, doesn't look like he's really breaking too much into this gap here at Wiser Square. They look about even set. However, it should be said they're slowly gaining on Stoneman. Nonetheless, Wiser Square got him in his sights. As we now see Mad Marlin still the fastest lap of the race away from Layton. Marlin setting what I believe was a 1:34 point something. Take a quick look at that right there. There's a 1:34.3 from Marlin. Fantastic lap. 0.3 faster than Layton's previous best. And look who it is. Finally, he's caught up to Wiser enough to make a move. He's going down the inside. P4 looks like it's easily going to be taken right before the apex of turn 12. See if Wiser has anything left here to fight with. That's the one thing Stoneman is probably praying for there, is that these guys in 4th and 5th start to battle it out just a little bit, because he's losing time to both of them on track, and I don't believe Stoneman has picked up a podium yet this season. He's had a few chances on a select few tracks, but looks like TRC Platinum might upset him here tonight, as he's now just a little over a second back and slowly cutting that down. Now just have 3 laps to go here in the race. Another thing that should be said is Deluxeport is beginning to cut down on that gap to Layton. We really see the medium runners start to show how much that extra grip is going to help them out here in the last few laps of the race. The guys on softs are really starting to fall off. And that's really evident to people like Big Mr. Brown here, because Indian Cyclone has points to gain from this. And really just trying to find any spot on track to make an overtake. S is definitely not the spot to do so. But he's going to get a good run here on Big Mr. Brown. Might be able to make the overtake on him. Going to be a big dive if he does. Big Mr. Brown holding down the inside. Cyclone around the outside. They make a little bit of contact there, and Big Mr. Brown's going to retain the place for the time being. There he goes pretty wide there, out of 13. Cyclone's going to throw it down the inside now at Big Mr. Brown. He's got to make a stick. Big Mr. Brown leaves in the space. Oh, but Big Mr. Brown is still going to keep it. We're now going to take it on board here with TRC Platinum, who's caught up to Stoneman and has got DRS enabled. He's going to get this move done before turn 1, and not much that Stoneman can do. And that is now Platinum up into P3, and Stoneman is now falling back into 4th. He's going to have to be careful for Wiser Square there. As we now look, Indian Cyclone making his own dive. Oh, and very nicely done on the brakes. Gets the move done, but Big Mr. Brown is now right on side of him as they're going to go side by side through the S's. This is going to be very close. Big Mr. Brown is going to get the move back on Cyclone. Cyclone had to back off. Something had to give, and that was Cyclone. Oh, but Cyclone's going to go back down the inside of Big Mr. Brown, and he makes it stick. That's now P7 for Indian Cyclone McLaren. What a move from the McLaren driver as he's trying to do all he can to diminish that damage that TRC Platinum's currently doing to his championship standings. Quick math, but I believe Indian Cyclone is still going to be ahead here as we now see Big Mr. Brown try to take another dive at Cyclone, but this time it's not going to stick. That's really bringing LDR Redeemer within the fight. Redeemer's now going to throw it down the inside of Big Mr. Brown. Big Mr. Brown dealt with this with Cyclone last lap, and he can't get him back. Unfortunately, this time, that's not going to be Big Mr. Brown down in the 9th as he's losing spots. So we'll take a look here now to Wiser Square, who is on the back of Stoneman. Stoneman, who was previously P3, lost that to TRC Platinum, and TRC Platinum is sitting very comfortable. Has to be said, though, if we take a look here at Deluxe Scored, he might reel in the race victory. He's cut this gap to Leighton drastically. It was 7 seconds just 4 laps ago, and it's now down to almost a second and a half. Deluxe Scored might be able to do something here on track. Leighton looks like he's struggling. Another driver that's struggling is Stoneman as Wiser Square makes a move down the inside. Stoneman tried to block him off, couldn't do it. Wiser was already there. And a lockup through turn 12 doesn't hurt Wiser there. Stoneman now falls into 5th place. Wiser up now into 4th. And this is going to be a showdown here for the race victory. You're going to see how it ends on track. Unsure where penalties are at the moment, but Deluxe is charging like no tomorrow. He's within the second gap as well, but he didn't get DRS. That is very odd. I wonder if Deluxe's DRS is broken. But here they come through the S's onto turn 3 and 4. And Leighton really has to be careful now. He's starting to feel the wear of those soft 13 laps in. Oh, and he loses it just a little bit there. And Deluxe is all on the back of him. Deluxe might be able to get the move done before turn 11. Oh, and has to back out just so he doesn't make contact with Leighton. Smartly done there by Deluxe. Want to play it safe. He knows he's going to have DRS here. Might be able to get it done before the apex of turn 12. Leighton defending very heavily there on the inside. It's going to be a drag race up to turn 12. Deluxe scored with the DRS. Going to go on the outside here, Leighton. Leighton is charging, though. They're going to go side by side through turn 12. Leighton's got the better line. He gets it. Elbows out on Deluxe Score. Deluxe Score now going to have the inside through turn 13 and 14. Elbows out by him. Oh, and they make contact. What is Leighton doing? He's turning directly into Deluxe. And Deluxe is spun sideways. TRC Platinum's now picked up second place. And that is definitely going to be looked at by the stewards. That is not what we want to see here on a last lap battle. And TRC Platinum now is going to come home with the race victory as Leighton lets him by. and that's going to be P1 for TRC Platinum as he crosses the line with the race win. Layton in second, Deluxe Cord in third, Weiser Square beating out Deluxe Cord. Tazonic beating them all out by penalties in second. See how Indian Cyclone fares here. That's going to be 7th place for him. LDR Deer in 8th, Mad Marlin, Big Mr. Brown all coming in the back. And we have TRC Ronin fairly far back from the rest of the grid. But that was an incredibly intense final few laps of the race. Definitely something the stewards are going to have to look at. Didn't look very good on stream. You're going to have to watch that one back. See what the stewards have to say. But TRC Platinum, our race winner. That is amazing. I gotta say, TRC Platinum, after serving a drive-through very early in the race, did a fantastic job of chasing back the race victory. Unfortunately, we will not have any time for driver interviews tonight. Gotta go get myself sorted out for the Division 1 stream, which I'll be broadcasting in just 12 to 15 minutes time. Well, let's look at TRC Platinum popping the champagne bottles. Tazonic getting back on the podium. You gotta love it. Congrats to those guys. And congrats to TRC Platinum. I believe that is definitely the lead of the championship, earned back by him after Indian Cyclone finished P7 in the race. So a lot for our stewards to look at post-race, but nonetheless, fantastic job by all of our guys who remained and kept it on circuit tonight. I will see you guys very shortly for our Division 1 stream. I am PPR Nick here, signing out for Xbox Division 2. Can't wait to sketch out and see all the action for the remaining 2 races with these guys, because it's going to be very intense. All right, I'll see you guys in just 10 minutes time.